First, let's look at what you can do with a CSV file that you've generated. So I've opened up a blank a Google Sheet right here, and I'm just going to go get that data and import it into this blank Google Sheet. So choose File and Import right here, and then navigate to wherever that file is on your computer. In my computer, I have R installed in a folder on my desktop. So there's the R directory, and let's see, we are in the using the Census API project folder. There it is, and there's the data file, my census data, just like that. Just highlight it and click Open. And Google Sheets says, what do you want me to do with this? Where do you want me to put that? Let's see. Let's choose replace current sheet. That's going to overwrite this blank tab here, this blank sheet with the data that we're importing. The separator type, it would probably get it right if we let it guess, but let's make sure by choosing comma here. And leave this convert text to numbers, dates, and formulas. Go ahead and leave that checked. And then choose import data right here. And there's all that data that we extracted from the Census Bureau using the code that we've written. So there's the median household income and the percentage of households receiving SNAP benefits in the last 12 months for every single county in Tennessee. So pretty efficient. So now, of course, you can graph this, you can sort it, you can do all the things that you already know how to do using data of this nature. You could create an error margin, a high and a low, using these error margins here, just like you did with the rent data. Okay, so I'm not going to go back over all of that. You already know how to do that, but this is how you would get the data into your Google Sheet. Let's go ahead and give this a name. Let's call it something like that. There we go. All right, so I'll leave you to that. As far as that map file, remember the KML file that we have sitting there in the R subfolder right there. Let's look at what you can do with that. This is really cool. Go back to the main drive and click New and More and Google My Maps. Okay, this should look familiar. And choose Import, okay, just like you've done before. Before you were importing a blank KML file. Now you're importing a KML file that has some data already in it. Let's go to where it is. Let's see. Oh yeah, we're still in the same subdirectory. Very good. There's the KML file right there. Click Open. And look at that. You've got this gorgeous map of the entire state of Tennessee, every county in Tennessee, and every county is clickable. Let's see. Here's Rutherford. You click Rutherford, and you've got all this information already in there. No need to open the data table and key it in. Now, if you're going to style this map, remember you do have to open the data table long enough to convert whatever you're going to style the map by into a number so that you can come up with those ranges. Let me demonstrate that real quick. Let's see. Let me open the data table for this layer. Let's see. What is this layer? Where's the data table? Oh, let's go back up to the top. There it is. These three little dots here. Click on those. Choose Open Data Table. And let's see. I think I'll style this map by. Let's style it by the percentage of households that receive SNAP benefits. What I want to do on this map is find out where in Tennessee, where are the counties that have high percentages of households that are having to use SNAP benefits. So let me insert a column after that, and let's give it a more descriptive name. Percent of households using SNAP. That'll work. Let's get the capitalization consistent there. Um, Maybe a colon at the end. And the important thing is to change this from text to a number so that we can style by this. Okay. And choose add. And oh, it's already done. I was waiting for it to finish. Let's see. Oh, didn't seem to copy the values for some reason. Wonder what happened there. Let me run it again. Just delete the column. These things happen sometimes. Let's see, duplicate. Oh, I know what I did. I just inserted a column. I should have chosen duplicate the column. So we're going to copy a percentage snap. Let's see, this would be um, okay. Yeah, there we go. Sorry to lead you down the wrong path there. Make sure you change this to a number and then choose add. And just waiting for it to finish here. It's got a lot to do, a lot to think about. There it goes. Okay, so now we have an actual number there. Perfect. And so now we should be able to style this map according to that variable that we just created. So let's style by percentage of households using SNAP. And sure enough, we have the ranges option available because it's numeric. We wouldn't have that with the original variable. And just to keep this nice and simple, let's break the counties into two categories. So now we're going to have counties with a high percentage of households that use SNAP benefits in the last 12 months, and counties that had a lower percentage of households that use SNAP benefits. Let's see. I think I'll change. Oh, well, let's just go with what we have here. But let's change the colors, right? That's a little hard to see the difference between the light blue and the not so light blue. Let's change the low counties to a maybe this kind of medium gray right here. Okay, so those are the counties that that had relatively low percentages of households using SNAP benefits, and let's make the counties that had relatively high percentages. Let's make them red so they'll really stand out. There we go. So now you can look at Tennessee and get a pretty good idea of where in Tennessee people struggle with food security. Well, it's pretty much here in Middle Tennessee. The counties have relatively few households using SNAP benefits, but as you go here into Western Tennessee, including Memphis, and over here in the eastern mountainous area of Tennessee, excluding Knoxville, but in the counties just north of Knoxville, you have higher percentages of households that are having to use SNAP benefits in order to have enough food every month. So that's a pretty helpful map. That gives you a good idea of where in Tennessee there is food insecurity. You could do the same kind of styling with the household income variable right here. You just have to again convert it to a number. So let's duplicate it, and let's see. Let's call this. The name has to be different. It's median household income, like that, and change it from text to a number. Wait for it to finish copying. Just be patient. It'll finish. There we go. And then now we could style by that as well. Let me close the data table. And let's see. Change this from percentage of households using SNAP to median household income. I can again choose just two ranges to keep the map nice and simple. Let's see. And this time, these would be the distressed counties, the ones with a relatively low household income. So I'll make them red. And then these would be the relatively less distressed counties, those with higher household income. So I'll make them kind of the gray. And you can see the two maps are very similar, right? Again, here in Middle Tennessee, we're doing relatively well. The areas of low household incomes are here in Western Tennessee. Memphis escaped this time, and these areas of Eastern Tennessee. Uh, so you can do that either way. But the point is, instead of having to type in all of this information about household income and the percentage of households using SNAP and so forth, it's already in there for you because R put it there for you by giving you this code here. So I hope that is interesting and useful to you, and I hope you'll find a lot of ways to use this in the future. But I think, oh yeah, I need to show you one more thing, which is how to elegantly shut down R. Um, uh, uh, Actually, it's pretty easy. All you have to do is just click the X, just like that. And if there's anything that is still open that has not been saved, um, R will ask you if you want to save it. Notice my API script hasn't been saved yet, so it's saying, hey, you want me to save that before we exit? It's also going to save the entire workspace. So all the data files you have retrieved, all the code you've written, everything, it's going to look just like this, with the exception of the individual console output over here. It's going to look just like this if you call it back up. So let me, you can check don't save if you've made changes and you don't want them to persist, but generally you'll want to save everything like this, and R just shuts down nice and neat. And watch this. If you open up RStudio again, just like this, okay, it comes up to whatever environment you were, or whatever project you were working on. If you want to switch to a different project, you just click File and Open Project and navigate to whatever project you want to work on. There's actually a Recent Projects option here. So this is a whole different project I was working on. This is a script that will scrape tweets from Twitter. So it just jumps right to that, um, and you can switch back and forth between projects nice and easily that way. So that's a little bit about how to move around in R, how to shut it down, and what you can do with the CSV file and the KML file that you've generated in this session.